see it on camera. You just gotta be like, all right.
I ain't even awake.
You gotta be like.
Oh, I
all
thought
right,
that was
so
him.
you convinced me
Not
when
gonna
it
lie, I
hits
thought
the
he was
fan.
calling
And
me.
then I'll just bring the shirt over to Lane's and I'll just leave it set down the entire time. And then when the game starts, I'll go act like I'm going to put it on. And I'll be like, yeah, no, he didn't pay me.
All right, it's time to roll.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We're live. There we go. All right, get the mics in. Audio is fixed. We found our fucking issue. I'd like to call it a bug or something that, you know, like hoodwinked me and bamboozled me, but really I'm just stupid, so. But it's all fixed, so.
Cole with the lovely jersey on. I love it.
Yeah, this
I
is
love
what
it.
happens when you lose a bet. And
least it's
you
a
are
Tomlinson
going
jersey.
against, yeah.
Had to, man.
Yeah, when Lane doesn't show up on the show, it kind of falls on, you know, the purpose of me doing this was for Laney Boy to show up.
Yep.
Because I'm in a Chargers jersey. I hope he shows up halfway through. I hope he wakes up here in like 5-10 minutes. He's like, fuck, I'm on my way. And
Doesn't
I'm
even
halfway
look
through.
at the-
I was thinking about it though. Since the Colts beat all three of you guys' teams, I got a jersey for each one of you that you guys should all have to wear on one stream. All four of us will just wear a Colts jersey.
When they play who?
Well, they already beat the Raiders. They beat the Broncos.
I'll do it against the Chargers.
And they
hands
beat
down.
the Chiefs.
Kind of weird.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're not gonna be the Chargers. I think. Are we still playing on Monday night, or do we get flexed yet?
Who knows?
They don't flex Monday
They
night
probably-
games.
I mean, if it's good.
Yeah, that's
Monday-
true.
I mean,
I
they
guess.
gave.
It's
They
awful.
gave. This was
Yeah.
probably one of the best Monday night schedules they gave in a while because they actually had
Well, because they
good
dick
commentary.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sunday
yeah.
night games have been
They've been okay.
average, but
yeah.
Thursday night games we've had what, 2 good ones so far.
Yeah,
this season?
Chiefs, Chargers,
I
and
mean,
then
there's only been like 6 good games total this season. Let's be real honest.
There's
the
been a lot of
worst.
good games this year. What are you talking about?
I think this has been one of the most boring seasons of
I just
football.
think
in
One of the
defense has
lowest
stepped it
scoring,
up.
one of the lowest scoring NFL seasons since like the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but okay, but I guess I don't know how to do this without sounding like arrogant, but there's 2 types of football fans, and one of them are the offensive types, and then there's real
Yes.
football fans who
Yep.
enjoy an entire
Yep.
game. I'm loving this from a defensive schematic
Dude.
standpoint, from production. Like I played
As
both
somebody
sides in
who
high
bets
school.
the overs, I'm fucking hating it.
Yeah, but as someone who like played both ways, like I played mostly offense, but you know, I played defensive end too. Like I was in the D line rotation, and I loved playing defense. I would have
Dude.
preferred it.
defense is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Defense
like
has been way more fun to watch this year. Don't
It's
get
the
me
most
wrong.
beautiful part of the game because if you can stop, even like say you go against a high-powered offense, if you can stop them consistently, there's something satisfying about that. You know what I mean? Like something
it's-
about it, man.
it's the best. Plus, I also when I volunteered and I coached up at North Middle School, like I kind of worked more defensively and ran the defense. So it's like
Yeah,
I have a preference towards defense. So this
Right.
year I'm like, yeah, fuck the trend.
dude. I
Well,
Like we've
love
been
it.
going better offense, better. Like it got to the point where defense is just so undervalued anymore. Like you really only value like pass rushers and corners.
right.
You know what I mean? So
It was kind of getting towards like the basketball phase where it was just like all offense. You know what I mean? Like, and
I don't know, I guess
defense is where-
you guys, Rick, are I'll kind of kick to you here. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys have probably profited off of that.
Yeah,
though.
that's what I was
Dude,
going to bring up. The
yes.
Cowboys are obviously, for the first time in ever that I can remember, that the defense is better than the offense. And the run defense is a little weak, but it's a little worrisome about this afternoon's game because I think Dalvin Cook's going to set an NFL record against our defense. But
I know Aaron Jones had a day.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to come down to the old Kirky boy, though. I think
Oh yeah.
if
Kirk O'Bangs.
if we can get
Kirk
pressure on him,
O'Chains.
and he's terrible. And he's a good quarterback, but except for when he's under pressure. So, and that's our strength this year. So.
My favorite base plate video for any meme is the Vince McMahon, he was special.
Yes.
Like the choking up, he was special. And it's talking about 11 a.m. Kirk, like, yeah, like post-church Kirk.
Well, and the Cowboys, yeah, I wish we played him on Sunday Night Football instead of this afternoon, but we'll take
Yeah.
it
You're lucky that it's an afternoon game though,
instead of an 11 game.
instead of an
yeah.
11 o'clock game.
That's
Games
true.
before 9 o'clock Eastern, he's like, I think he's like above. It's like 63 win percentage,
Mhm.
and then when you go to after 225, he's like 20, 30, and 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Kirk Cousins is kind of like Phillip Rivers. You can just never trust him. You know what I mean? Like fully trust him. Like he's consistently good, but he can lose you games for sure. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's times they bite you.
Yeah.
So I just saw a thing this morning that says Beckham is going to meet with the Giants and the Cowboys after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, what? I thought he was cleared. Why is he waiting until after Thanksgiving?
Cause, dude,
He
get
wants to do
fat,
the least
enjoy
amount
some.
of work
What?
to win a Super Bowl.
He wants to make less money though. That's the whole point. He keeps saying he wants 20 million. Like,
There's no way.
not
Not-
for this part of the season, but I mean,
If it's long term, maybe, but
This
He's
this
only
season's
gonna
a
sign one-year
rental.
deal again.
Yeah, this season's a
Mhm.
rental. Like you're renting OBJ.
you're
I don't
renting
know.
him for what, 6 weeks plus the playoffs? If-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll take his salary in Bitcoin again. And you can grab yourself a bargain.
man,
yeah,
that
it's a
was
real smart decision.
yeah, that was not a good decision.
Talk about athletes taking crypto L's. Cade Cunningham signed a deal with what is it, BlockFi?
BlockFi.
Yeah, BlockFi. And they just declared bankruptcy.
Oh,
and his
no,
entire signing
man.
bonus was supposed to be via them.
I saw
through
that.
Crypto.
At least it was a signing bonus, not his whole salary, though. I mean, it's
Oh,
still a
yeah.
loss.
It's still a big loss, though. Yeah.
That's an L. That's
Yeah.
a huge
Speaking of the
L.
NBA, they don't play defense at all. I looked at the average score the other day. It's ridiculous. Like they're averaging like 118, 120 points a game.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Well,
I
those are
remember
hitting
back
at
in
a
the day
record
getting
rate.
like
Yeah, I mean,
110 was ridiculous.
I was gonna say, yeah, back even 5 years ago, if you were averaging 110, it was crazy. Now
Yeah.
everyone's averaging at least that.
Oh, I was taught growing up in the fucking 90s and like early 2000s, like 100 points for a team was good.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, you saw the Phoenix Suns putting up $110 a game and you were like,
Yeah.
that's the greatest offense we have in the
Yeah.
What
league.
was
Yeah,
it?
you know?
Tuesday, the Thunder dropped like 170. It
Yeah.
was like 178 to 145.
80 points at halftime, like that is just unheard of. You see that more and more often nowadays.
They
than
need
you
to
don't.
legalize assault in the NBA again. I'm gonna come right the fuck out and
Meta
say
World
it.
Peace would
Dude, I
come right
know.
back.
Yeah, these boys are too soft. You got too many dudes who are getting to the line too often. No,
Yes.
throw a couple fucking clotheslines. Let's see who really gets to the basket.
Dude, I think
right?
early 2000s basketball was the shit for, defense with Ben Wallace and the Pistons and stuff, man. I loved
It all started when they started making them dress formal to games. Like they started
Yes.
having a dress code because I feel like that's when the NBA went softer and more towards offense and more towards like this placated, Disneyfied, like let's just fucking score points and have our
Yeah.
athletes be spokespeople and activists, haha. And not that I don't appreciate like people using their popularity to fucking have a platform, but like Jordan wasn't around nearly as much like being like LeBron. Like I appreciate
Yeah.
LeBron for most of the shit he's done, but at this point, like it seems like he's almost a little too active.
All he does is talk.
Yeah, like all he does is talk. I'm like, bro, like maybe stick with the charity work and let's focus on them free throws a little bit more because the team is garbage right
Dude.
now. He's playing.
Yeah.
He's LeBron, but
He's still playing good for year 20, I guess.
I appreciate people having a platform, but when you become something more than something,
Yeah.
and that's what you were first, I'm like, well, that's cool. If you're gonna be an activist, fucking retire, bro.
What'd you guys think of
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
calling him out for the
Dude, that
memes?
was
I love it.
that was hilarious.
Yep.
He's like, there's something going around the internet right now.
Yep. I even did it to myself too. I was like, actually, I can't remember what it was on, like a draft thing or whatever. I was
That was like the
"Oh,
best like little running meme in most recent times, I think.
Lane wants one made with me with my Jamar Chase quote.
What'd you say?
Knew he was the greatest player.
Oh,
saw
my
him play in
Football
high
God.
after
school.
after I saw his first snap.
That's
That was my
hilarious.
quote.
Yeah, Siggy be on some shit sometimes. Love you. You are the LeBron of our channel,
But
the goat. But
with that being said, how about we get to some of these picks?
let's do it. Let's start with the game of the week: Bears Falcons.
Oh yeah, baby. It's
Oh.
gonna be a shootout. It's either gonna be a blowout or just a high scoring game.
Yeah,
man.
just out of fucking nowhere in a
Yes.
dome in November. They scored nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
that would
17
be-
to 10,
I would be highly upset.
Well, I'm hammering the over.
What's the over?
48 and a half.
48.5 with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Falcons minus 2.5. I'm taking the Bears upset here.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Justin Fields goes nuts. Has a total of 4,
Over Bears
maybe
money
5
line.
touchdowns. I would say 2 rushing, 3
They're,
passing.
they're starting to cook. Last week was an extra point mishap.
Yeah.
But since then, what? Like, I mean, I guess I'll
He's
pull
like the number one quarterback since week 8.
I know, but dude, they're
He's the
balling.
number one
ridiculous,
running back
man.
since week 8.
Dude, he
I
has
was gonna
like
say it's more running back.
I was gonna
but
say he almost has 1,000
it's
yards
quarterback too,
rushing,
it's
and
both.
he exploded over the last, like Sig said, like since week 8. Man, it's ridiculous.
I had this stat because we got at Friendsgiving we got into a nice heated debate on Fields,
And for the record, I am not high on Fields. I wasn't.
I've been high on Fields.
So-
I hated,
Hold on.
hated
Question-
his placement. I hated his placement. In
Yeah,
Chicago.
the Bears.
Question
it's
for you
terrible
guys.
him. What's up?
If because Cole and I already answered this off air, but if the NFL was to completely like, hey, we're gonna throw everyone into a player pool, let everyone restart their
For like
franchises,
a fantasy draft.
like
Yeah.
Madden fantasy draft,
Yeah.
would Justin Fields make it out of the first round?
Easily.
No.
No.
In the first.
No.
Fucking way.
Rick, think about this here, okay? Think about it. What does every GM privately, in their deepest, darkest moments, when they're looking in the bathroom mirror and their wife's in bed and they stare themselves in the face before they go lay down for the night and they have an honest to God look with themselves, what does every GM want?
Quarterback.
A hot, sexy young quarterback. Yep. And I am not saying Justin Fields is one of the top 32 players or even young players to draft
My point. Why would you? There's so
But-
many better players than him.
at a premium.
Quarterback is your helm.
You give
Right,
me
but
15 quarterbacks better because 20 quarterbacks get drafted in that first round. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
20?
20 out of 32 teams, I think, in a restart for an NFL draft. Look at the talent you have around.
I'm just thinking.
I said
Even-
12 to 14.
Even Dak, you're talking, is 29 years old. Teams will take a risk on him, and then vicariously, Tannehill's 32, Carr's 31. Not that I'm arguing that you should. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that they
No,
would.
I'm just thinking in my head of other positions. That's why I was thinking about that.
People
too.
have done some dumb shit for a young quarterback.
I'd
We all
say-
know
Left
that.
tackle.
I was gonna say
corner,
left
pass
tackle.
rusher. There's a lot of those positions that would go
No.
in the first round too.
I agree, but I still think quarterback takes the overwhelming majority because you got to
Agreed,
realize
but
this is a
Fields
52
is
round
not-
draft.
Fields is still not.
I think Fields would go like
getting better.
realistically
Give him that. He's
20
getting
to
better.
25 if they're a redraft.
Yeah,
I think-
I was thinking late teens, early 20s.
Well, yeah, because you
Yeah,
got
no,
to
he's-
think.
He's been.
I think
Fields has been crushing it the last few weeks, but he's still 0-3 in those same weeks though.
I think the first 7 picks would definitely be quarterback, and then outside of that, it'd be pass rush.
It all
or
depends on
corner.
if they won one of those.
No, they should have won them. They should have just won last week. It should be the
Yeah.
Lions.
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. They've allowed 49, 35, and 31
no, I get
points.
it's not just
Yeah,
his
yeah,
fault. I'm
yeah.
just saying he has made some mistakes in bad situations in each one of those
Oh,
games. too.
I'm not saying that boy is next.
like what was that play against the
I
Cowboys?
mean, since week
Yeah.
since week 8 though, a passer rating of 108.9,
Statistically,
7
he's getting
touchdowns,
substantially better.
385 rush
Well,
yards, and 4 rush
see,
touchdowns.
well, the Bears at
All right,
least
I'm
know
gonna
they
get the
don't have to
noodle out
draft
if we
one.
don't stop interrupting. All right, I'm gonna get the noodle out. Rick, go.
What?
You were talking. Go.
Well,
Sorry.
the Fields is getting better clearly, and I think the Bears finally might actually have a quarterback. He's still not like the truth like we've discussed, but I think he's still going to take more time. They have to get something for him to throw to. I got Claypool, but he's not a number one.
I know,
He's
but if
not.
you're a GM here and sitting, you know what? If you're John Lynch and you do this redraft, and you're sitting here in this redraft and you end up getting shafted with the later pick, because let's say maybe the order is by all-time success. They factor in all-time win percentage, Super Bowls, and that is how the first round order is, and it's a snake draft from there. So Cowboys,
God the
Niners
Patriots are picking
are at the back of the
32.
draft. Yep. And so now you're sitting here. And you're John Lynch. Now, Trey Lance is possibly off the board because of everybody's potential around him. Or maybe you just don't believe in him because he and Fields are on the board. Now, you have Kyle Shanahan, who is a running game maestro and really loves running quarterbacks, clearly, as they went out and they got Trey Lance. Seeing what Justin Fields turns into in that situation, do you maybe then take Justin Fields?
I'd take Justin Fields over Trey Lance, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
But
100%.
I'm saying I don't think he makes it out of the first round. If you're completely rebuilding your franchises, all the guys who are, I would say, from 29 to that 22 range, like even Kenny Pickett's probably going to go in the first round just because of age.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it.
yeah,
No.
Cap.
stop it there.
Cap.
No.
Cap.
I wouldn't even take Pickett in the 3rd round, to be honest.
I'm just going to.
Let's have yeah,
I could just say like potential age.
Cap.
I just don't think. Oh man,
I
but
Just
let's
because they're
I
young
felt-
doesn't mean. But
I
Brady's
wanted to
let's-
take it back as I
78 years
said.
old, and
We'll
he's
just
still
say
one
it.
of the best in the league.
I was about to say, you took it back.
Yes.
We'll move on. The only thing I'm going to add to that is Justin Fields gets selected in the first round because of athletic ability.
Yeah.
No, it's not because he's young, just because he's young. It's because he's 23 and he looks like the second coming of Michael Vick on the best day.
Yeah.
On the best day. On the best day. But let's remember that Michael Vick also was never a good passer until he got out of prison.
Right.
And that
No,
was 1 year.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and Yeah, in Doc Dre's, license plate factory and passing school, he learned a lot. All right, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the game at hand. That we completely
let's
off.
go.
I like Chicago here, but
Yeah.
I do think this is going to be a fun game. But I'm gonna match Sig on that. Chicago with the over.
Yep.
It's in Atlanta, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah, the way the Atlanta's been super inconsistent, so who knows what Atlanta team's going to show up. But
Well, and I feel like they were missing Cordell Patterson so much, and then they just go away from him. It just makes no sense to me. No sense. I mean, sure, he was active his first game against the Chargers. We suck at the run defense, but other than that, he hasn't been utilized very much, and I think that's going to be consistent.
I don't know another team that's going into tank mode that's like a half game out of their divisional lead at 4-6, but hey,
Yeah,
go for it, Atlanta. Like
Yeah,
I
I
guess
was gonna
tank
say,
away
man.
when you have like the 18th pick in the fucking draft right now because the
Yeah.
NFL's so mid.
it's really weird how much parity. I've never seen a year in my entire life that I've seen more parity in the NFL.
Yeah.
All the good teams are shit. All the bad teams became good, and all the
Well,
mediocre
it's just
teams
like
stayed
such
mediocre.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think it's just such a
That's
level
literally what
playing
happened.
field
Yeah,
this year,
flipped.
and no team is guaranteed. I mean, not that a
fuck,
team
we've
is guaranteed to
seen it.
win going in, but it's just like you never know who's gonna win. You know
Well,
what I
there's
mean?
been so many games this year that have been like complete massive upsets.
Yeah.
You know?
Upsets.
Let's talk
or-
about week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think I'd rarely bet with the Bears, but I think I'll go with the Bears as well. And yeah, I think the over is probably gonna be like 31-24, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be high.
I
50s.
think the over could even hit by half. Honestly, like,
Oh,
both
yeah.
of these teams have shit defense and high octane offenses.
And neither one of them has anything to lose. So
Yeah.
I mean, the Falcons kind of do if they really want to push for the playoffs, but they'd have to.
I don't know. Here's my thing. I think the Bucks are gonna run the table. Don't lose another game.
How did the
Not
NFC
don't lose another game, but
They're gonna go like
realistically-
6-1.
Realistically,
7-1.
it's their division.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's not just the
Like-
division.
How did
They're-
the
they're
NFC
still
South
only a
become
game and a
such
half out of the
shit?
wild
I
card
don't know,
still
man.
too.
I know, but once you take the division, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
for.
well, yeah,
Tampa Bay,
the
but
Bucks probably take the division unless they just fall apart again.
I think they take the division at 10-7, 11-6. You know, it's
Yeah.
not gonna be anything.
They're 5-5
crazy.
now, right?
But we're gonna soar on to this next game. We got Philadelphia versus the Colts.
I see what you did there.
Over under is 45.
I'm taking unders.
Philly minus 6.5.
I'm taking unders and the cover.
I think that Philly absolutely is gonna beat the dog shit out of us.
Yes.
This is their
Yes.
get right game after what happened to the Commanders. And this is Nick Sirianni's first revenge game against the organization that let him go, and he is not going to let that lightly. Because Jimmy Irsay chose to go after Josh McDaniels instead of hiring Nick Sirianni in-house.
Yeah, man.
So I think that even if I just think that there's Jonathan Taylor's going to get his, but that's going to be about it.
What was the over unders?
45 minus 6.5. I like
Yeah.
the under with you as well.
I'm going 31-7.
Ooh, no, I don't know if I like the under.
I was gonna say you just said they're break. I mean, if you're basically implying that the Eagles are gonna go off for 30+ points.
30 plus points, you only need 14.
All you need to do is Matt Ryan to throw 2 touchdowns or
Yeah.
give it to. Yeah, I think I'd go
Garbage.
over.
I'd say the
actually.
over. I'd say the over, and I'm gonna be taking the Philly spread there.
I would take the over. I think Philly probably covers, but I don't think it's like 2 touchdowns. I think it's like
I even
10.
think that Nick Sirianni put Zach Pascal in to catch a touchdown.
just to prove a point.
To
I'm
just
going to interrupt
really-
you all
that
right
would be
there.
hilarious.
Siglin, hold on, okay? This is where we're breaking it out because obviously I announced some big news on Tuesday. Donnie T is back, bitches. Soon to be following on Twitter too, okay? So if there's one thing that breeds success, it's that you follow in the elderly. You follow in the senior, you follow in the experience. And this week, the Eagles from the second greatest city in America next to New York. But the Eagles, the former world champion Eagles, they picked up 2 great veteran, older players who are still youthful, in Linval Joseph and Nadama Kong Su, who is my dude, okay? I have the Eagles by 1,000,000.
I think that.
But no, for real, Eagles all the way this
I was
week. I
gonna
think
say.
I think it's the Eagles get right game, but I think this is your guys' get real game.
I also think it's just a Nick
Yes.
Sirianni revenge game. Like
This is
you
just
could have
Saturday's
had
welcome
this
to the
in
NFL.
house like I still think one of the biggest things like he ever fucked up was letting Nick Sirianni leave, because you watched it year after year. Our offense just got progressively worse and worse after he left. Like,
Well,
dude,
and Frank
he's
Reich
a-
isn't even there anymore.
But Nick Sirianni is a pass game maestro. Like, he dialed some shit. He made Jacoby Brissett a 10-game winner.
I think the story of the game is going to be D-line. Eagles D-line, obviously. They're going to be fresh all game. And
Oh,
then
they're
they're-
rotating them every other play.
And then
they
their
said.
ground game. Like, I think they're just going to destroy him on the ground. I think it's going to be 130 plus on the ground. D-line's not going to give up anything, really.
But you guys don't have Shaq Leonard.
The-
Hey,
Zaire Franklin's
I know.
been playing great for him all season.
He's
It's
one
not even-
motherfucker.
But that's
Against-
the dude that's replaced him, though. I mean, everyone else has been out there.
Who's
Zaire
running?
Franklin
Who-
just took his
Miles
job.
Sanders is not that good.
Miles Sanders isn't that great.
Well, I mean,
Like,
you got to
they have
factor in
a
Jalen Hurts,
committee
too.
Jalen
Oh,
Hurts will
don't-
pass
don't
all.
even
Will
get me
pass a lot, but
started on Jalen Hurts right now. I fucked up on a prize picks last night.
What'd you do?
I meant
Yeah.
to click less on rush attempts, and while I was just going through there, I clicked more. And then when I finally went to like go look at my picks, I realized I clicked more, so I tried to cancel. And
too late.
yep, so we're riding. He needs to run the ball.
How many rush attempts do you need?
10.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a...
he's had 10
That's
and
a
11
stretch.
twice.
I'm not
in the
saying he
last
can't
5
do
weeks.
it,
He's had
but-
10 and 11
But we're
twice
getting late
last
in the
5 weeks.
season, and
I meant to
Yeah.
click less. This was
So
a lock of a prize.
So you need a shoot, or you need them to score a lot of points in the first half, so then he's forced to run the ball.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Nick, have you ever heard of the read option?
Yeah, right. Please.
RPO for the blow.
I need.
Shit, I don't even think Justin Fields gets 10 attempts today on the ground.
That's
easy.
He easily gets that.
Think so?
If you guys want,
I
if you guys
think-
want free first half money, take Justin Fields rush yards, JJ's first half receiving. They've both hit for the last 7 weeks.
I have Monty, so I'm hoping that he gets 25 plus carries
next
today.
game.
We move on to this is actually what I think is gonna be. There's some really shit games on the schedule,
Yeah.
but just due to who's playing in this game, I think this is gonna be the most boring game on TV today. We got the Rams versus the Saints.
Yep, absolutely.
Over under
Nope.
is 39, hammering that with a spread to the Saints of -2.5. Taysom time.
In New Orleans, correct?
Yep.
God, look how far we've fallen. This was a hot playoff
Yes.
matchup.
Oh, this
would've been
Literally 3 years ago.
2 years ago. This
2
would
years
have been
ago.
Most
this would have
controversial.
been maybe flexed to Sunday night.
Yeah.
Drew Brees versus Stafford.
I was gonna say, is Stafford playing?
Yeah, Stafford's
Stafford's
playing.
playing,
But Kupp's
Kupp
officially
isn't.
out 6 to 8 weeks. They're saying now, and he's done for the season unless the Rams get relevant. They literally said that this morning. And same thing with Dallas Dallas Goddard's out 6 to 8 weeks for the same exact injury.
Oof.
It's not good.
Not
I
good.
hate it.
Yeah.
Ben Stronach, though.
I think the other white boy is gonna.
I was
Everyone's
gonna
like,
say if he likes to keep that shade on point,
Yep.
don't be betting on Allen Robinson.
I was
don't-
gonna no.
this is
Go
a-
bet on Ben Stronach.
yeah, I think I'll take the Rams
Yeah.
in this game. I'd probably bet them straight up even. 'Cause it's only 2.5.
Shit.
Yeah.
What was the over under?
39.
2.5. Or sorry, excuse me, 38. Yeah, I think so. And then
Gee,
2.5
that's
to
really low.
cover.
Yeah, I'll take the over too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be
Damn, I
Allen
didn't know
Robinson
John
Higby
Wolford got
game,
injured.
100%, and
I
then
mean, like 24-20 is over.
Yeah.
That's not that many.
yeah.
I feel like Allen Robinson's just passed at this point. Like, I mean,
He's just like.
I think he just keeps running into bad luck, man. I really do.
Dude, have you guys gone through the Saints injury report in a while? It's pretty fun. It's a lot of scrolling.
yeah.
Are they this year's Ravens or what?
No shit, Chargers are.
You guys got your boys. back
Dude,
this
we're
week.
getting healthy, baby.
I was about to say, you guys are
Wow.
getting healthy at the right time, and you guys kind of made it through.
We are. We
The
weathered
stretch.
the
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 storm.
weirdest thing is if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in. And
No.
it just throws me off.
Yeah.
Because the AFC East is somehow amazing.
All 4
this
teams
year.
are in.
And
I-
and there's a chance that right now the Commanders are just outside looking in, but as of right now, 7 of the 8 East teams would be in the playoffs.
Dude, they went from
Isn't
the
that
NFC.
crazy,
They
man?
went
Nobody
from the
would've thought.
NFC least to the NFC beast
Yeah.
in an off season.
It's so funny because we all thought
And it makes
the
no
West.
sense because the Giants.
We thought the NFC West, and AFC West was going to be like that, and it's literally the exact opposite.
I think the Giants might be the worst 7-2 team in NFL history.
What?
They're not good. They're not winning a playoff game.
Oh man, I think the Giants.
They are on defense.
They're
It's
playing
Saquon,
efficient football.
and that's it.
They're playing efficient football. You
On
get
offense.
Danny Dimes not turning the ball over. I mean, like, it's a picture-perfect world right now, and Dayball's definitely the coach for that team.
I like the Giants.
Yeah,
like
I do
the-
too,
Who are they
man.
I
beating
like
in the
it.
playoffs right now?
Who are they beating in the playoffs? The fucking Cowboys.
Ooh,
They won't play the Cowboys ever in
shit.
the playoffs.
Yeah, they will.
No, they
If you
won't.
get 3 wild card teams,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're not
And-
winning the division, so they won't play the Cowboys.
They'll be a 7 seed.
Okay, so they
Yeah,
move
they'll
on.
be. They're both.
NFC
Unless they both win the
championship
first
game.
round.
They're
NFC
both gonna
championship
be
game
wild.
after they beat
and the
2 other
Cowboys,
teams.
Cowboys easily beat them with Cooper Rush in a bad game.
Okay, Cooper Rush is your better quarterback first.
Yes.
I just did it for that. I just
know,
did it for
but-
that.
For your guys'
Regardless-
play style this year, he is.
Well, for
because-
this year specifically,
yes.
but if we would just honestly, Dak isn't playing horrible. The last week he threw 2 interceptions, and both of them were arguably on CeeDee Lamb's route running.
I think Dak's just Dak. I don't think anything's changed.
The one at the goal line was
Dak-
questionable.
I'm going to say this. Dak is Derek Carr with the tan at this point to me. He's a good
Oh.
quarterback who has bad games.
Well,
He's a good quarterback who has bad games. I'm sorry. He has not proven me any different.
I'm not arguing that. Well, you heard what Amari Cooper said last year. That's why Amari Cooper got traded because he called him the Black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like it's the same argument you just made.
I don't.
I mean,
I
since
have
we're
a-
talking about the Cowboys,
I have a soft spot for these guys because they get notoriously shit on for the gap between them and great. They get shit on way more because it's like, yes, I understand, and I have openly acknowledged your Justin Herberts. They're, your Patrick Mahomes, you're great quarterbacks. There is a fucking gap where then you start talking about Dak, you start talking about Jimmy, you start talking about Derek Carr, you start talking about Kirk Cousins. And I think these guys are all around the same. Jimmy Garoppolo I'd put at the bottom of that middling pile, but they're all guys you could definitely win a title with with a better team around them, obviously, but they're not going to lead you to a Super Bowl, but they will play non-detrimental football and make good plays that
Yeah.
will help you win a
Right,
Super Bowl. But
exactly.
in the end, who the fuck ever carries anybody to a Super Bowl? It's a goddamn team game.
Yeah.
All right? Like, we need to stop looking at Patrick Mahomes as the fact that he carried the Chiefs and the fact that they had a lot of damn playmakers the year that they
Dude,
won.
yeah.
They had a
No
lot of
matter
playmakers
what.
the year
They
that
find
lost.
a way.
no matter
man.
what, who takes the brunt of the Super Bowl loss, like in like the post game
Quarterback.
shows,
I mean,
Quarterback.
yeah,
all
of
of that
course,
stuff.
because it's
So no matter what, like I think when
And it's the
And
most
another-
important position
another
but
thing-
still.
if you go into the Hall of Fame, what position has the least players in the Hall of Fame that doesn't have a Super Bowl?
Punter. I don't know.
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
There are more positions or more players in every other position that are in the Hall of Fame without a Super Bowl than quarterbacks. There's only like 25 or something like that don't have Super Bowls.
It is
of
defining
a
because
quarterback.
here's the deal, and to break it down is quarterback is the most important position.
yeah.
of course.
Now, where you put that as like 50%, or you put
But
that
it's like-
as 15% when everybody else is like below 10% as far as like what their metric value is. Let me finish. You've interrupted me. I love you. But at the same time, I have had this argument with multiple people because there's people like our good buddy Sir Carr who fucking doesn't believe that like wins for quarterbacks are a stat. And I'm like, yes and no. I'm like, I don't think they are a primary stat, but because the quarterback is the most important player, they are the one who kind of gets to get accredited
Touches the ball more than
with
anyone.
wins and losses per se. But also, you got to do a deeper dive into the context of those
Yes.
things too.
Well,
But so like
yeah.
this is one of my points that like I've always thought about is like when an NBA team or an MLB team loses the Super Bowl or loses their respective championship, they talk about either that team star player, that could be either the center, the power forward, the shooting guard, the point guard, hell, even the sixth man at that time, depending on, because it was like our run with Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston was the most important piece in the first Warriors championship.
By far.
But, and then you go into the baseball side. The baseball side, you talk about the pitching staff or like your one great hitter. In football, the championship, it always rests on the quarterback. And that's like one stigma that I think is kind of fucked up.
I do too, just because I think quarterbacks can definitely win and lose you games, but there are plenty of games where they don't do either, and it comes down to defense, in my opinion. I think the most
Defense wins
important.
championships.
I'm telling you, the most important part or the most important phase of the game is defense, and then it's quarterback.
Ask
in
Cam
my
Newton
opinion.
and Peyton
In my
Manning.
opinion.
if Tony Romo had this Cowboys defense,
Title two. Oh,
at
easy.
Yeah.
least, at least one, if
Yeah.
not two,
100%.
because that offense was, and at the end of his career, especially, he actually did the beginning of this offensive line. At the middle of it, it was awful.
2010
Which
Cowboys.
88 would you rather have?
Which what?
Irvin, duh.
Well, he's not.
He's talking about the other two.
Oh, Brian or
Brian or
CD?
CD.
You're talking about
Controversially,
I'll take
Dez.
Brian.
I think Dez.
Dez is a
Dez.
dog.
Just
Dez was
Dez,
mentality.
Dez in his prime, not in his head, but Dez in his
No, but
his
mentality
talent.
on the field though, he's a
Psycho?
fucking dog.
Yeah.
He has a yeah.
Go get the fucking ball. Yeah,
He's more of
You
a
know who my
playmaker
favorite
than
fucking
CD
team is?
yeah.
Yeah, I have a penchant for the insane. All right.
CeeDee Lamb is great. Don't get me wrong, but he is not that type of receiver. He's
I'd
just
say he is wide receiver 1 potential, but he's not there yet. Like, he's obviously a super important role player for the Cowboys, but he's not just as dominant as Dez was. He's not making plays consistently for
Yeah.
the Cowboys. And I think, to be honest, just my humble opinion, I think Tony Pollard is the heart and soul of that offense, man. I love Tony Pollard, man.
I think it's important for us to have both of those running
Yes,
backs going.
absolutely.
But
That's
yeah, I agree.
that's your
Absolutely.
offense, and that's where you guys have found success.
Well, and guess
we
what?
should move on.
But
to
I'm
Dez.
trying to
Yes.
take command
Yes.
back here. Can you give us our pick? You're the only one who didn't pick the Rams or the Saints.
Oh, I did. I thought I did.
Nope.
I'm picking the Saints on this one.
You and I are on the Saints. They're on the Rams. All right. So now that I got command back, we're going with between the Commanders and the Texans.
Oh,
God.
man.
That was
Toilet
a
bowl,
terrible
baby.
transition. All right, we got to do this one quick.
I'm
1,
taking
2, 3, Commanders.
Yep.
Commanders.
Yep.
Yes.
I think so,
Heineke's
too.
hot.
He's
And
on the
then-
season ticket brochure next year. Enough said.
All right. Well, now we're gonna jet around.
I like it.
Over under is 38. Patriots minus 3.5, and I actually think this is a Jets revenge game.
Yep.
I hope it is.
The Jets defense is gonna link up. I think that Judon is gonna be held to maybe 1 sack today, and I think we're gonna see a Wilson show like we haven't seen yet. I'm taking the Jets on the upset.
Yeah, I will take the Jets as well. The over/under, I have no idea.
I have no idea, but I think the Jets defense is going to be the story of the game.
This is another upset that I got, and this is gonna be a fun one because
Jets.
this is 2 college teammates going against each other for the first time in the NFL. They used to go against each other all the time in the trenches back in Oregon. We got Penei Sewell versus Thibodeau. We're going to be
True.
taking Detroit under 44.5. I'm taking Detroit on the money line
Oh.
with the upset.
Oh, no.
They're only giving 3 to the Giants though.
They're only even 3 of the Giants, and I think Aiden Hutchinson has been coming out of his shell the last few weeks, and I think Penei Sewell still hasn't allowed a sack since he's been in the NFL.
I will also take the Lions.
I think Saquon goes crazy. It's going to be the same old Giants game. Saquon goes crazy. Defense is going to win the game, and then Daniel Jones is going to make a couple plays.
Daniel Jones will make a couple plays for the Lions. I
The-
think, in this game.
I like the Giants, but only because
Where are they playing? Detroit? No.
No, they're playing-
Yeah, I was going to say, never mind. Bills game is in Detroit.
I was going to say the Bills are commandeering their stadium.
I just like it because the Lions' offense is good, but
Yeah.
their defense is worse.
fair.
Way worse on the scale of bad than their offense is good on the scale of good.
And I think the Giants
Let's just
offense
put
is
that
better.
one basically.
I just don't think the Giants score enough points to like maintain with like the Lions though. The Lions are high scoring.
Motherfucker, I
fucking
can score
team.
enough points against the goddamn Giants with 10 little leaguers, or against the Lions with 10 little leaguers. Like, the point
don't
is,
think
is like, when's the last time the Lions even allowed less than 20 fucking points? Like, their defense is horrible. They're allowing almost 30 a game, and the Giants aren't Denver Broncos bad. They're scoring 20 a game. They have Saquon. Daniel Jones cannot fuck up long enough. And especially against this defense, dare I say, he looks good, and he is my fantasy start of the fucking week because his defense is
Ooh.
horrible. Everybody else is picking Justin Fields. I had to shake it up. So Danny Jones is actually my quarterback start of the week because, dude, the defense is horrible. Like, let's just do the math. Daniel Jones is not a horrendous quarterback. He's growing. He's learning. He's young.
Receivers
He
are
makes a lot of
horrible.
mistakes, but against this defense, I'm betting against.
He's turning into a Jimmy G type player where he doesn't run or he doesn't necessarily turn the ball over a bunch anymore versus he was turning it over, 20 plus times a year. And he's kind of
the ball is 100%.
he's definitely minimized that.
All of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
All of this.
To answer your question, the last time the Lions gave up less than 20 points was the Packers 2 weeks ago. They gave up 9. But other than that, they've given up 24 or more the rest of the season.
Man, what's going on
9.
with the Packers, man?
Well,
They show up against the Cowboys for one half.
Right,
And decide that
right.
they suck to send last 6-7 games.
we got another 2-2 split here. Let's carry on to Carolina.
Oh, this is
We
I
got
like the punts today. They're good.
Carolina over under 41 with a Ravens spread of 12.5.
ooh, I don't like that.
I don't
spread.
like the spread of 12.5, and I honestly think like this is Baker's either he plays well today or he won't start in the NFL again for a long while until there's an injury. Unless you guys pick him up.
That would be great for us.
I'll address this when we tackle the Raiders game. Because
Didn't you guys want him?
Carr's not going
I
anywhere.
did. No, you guys wanted him before you traded for
I
Matt
wanted
Ryan.
him.
Oh, we
I
were
thought the
talking
Colts
about
were going
that
to.
whenever you were going to get water.
Hard
Those-
part with Baker is like he's broken now.
I blame the Browns for that.
Yes.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, we can trace it back to where it comes from, but I think it is what it is. He's broken, and actually, I like the Ravens with 12.5. They win by 17 or more in this game.
Ooh.
I'd flex. I would fucking flex.
Let
that
me
all the
check
way to
injuries real
17
quick.
Points. I don't care. Lamar's on the field. You know what? Even with Tyler fucking Huntley on the field, I have the Ravens going over.
I'm gonna go-
Jesus, what?
Mark Andrews is back this week. You got Likely
Is
playing.
he actually healthy though?
That's
gonna be
fine.
on a
They got
pitch
Isaiah
count.
Likely playing good.
Because what did he have? A hamstring injury?
Yeah. I think
Mark
so.
Andrews?
Jax.
Yeah, he's going to be on a pitch count for sure.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
How was?
I'm going 28-17 in that game.
So you're taking
We're
the
shading the
Panthers plus
Ravens,
the
the-
points then.
It still says Mark Andrews questionable.
No, it's 11.
That's
It's
fine.
12.5 is the spread. So you're taking the Panthers plus the points.
Sure.
I think I might agree with you on
It
that
also
one.
says
Yeah.
Lamar's.
On
It
that.
also
The points, that's a
says
big spread.
It also says Lamar's questionable with illness.
Yeah,
right now.
Lamar's sick too. That's why I think this game's gonna be a little bit closer than.
Flu game. I don't care. I'm sticking to my
Not Michael Jordan.
I said
Um,
with Tyler Huntley, they will win by 17 with
Damn.
whatever
I'm down.
quarterback.
I'm down to
Jesus.
take the spread.
I'm taking plus the points for sure because Dante Foreman will run enough to. Keep
Yeah,
this-
exactly.
It's
I
not gonna be a
think he's going
blowout
to
because of
shine.
that. He's on fire this
Yeah.
last 3 or 4 games. Dude's
Yeah, and
a
I like
beast.
Carolina's nucleus. I hope they lose and they get a good quarterback. They deserve it. They
Yeah.
deserve it.
They'll fuck it up.
Yep.
Well, no, not if they hire the right coach. But
They'll
at this
draft
point,
the Trey Lance of this draft probably.
Oof.
controversial opinion: Steve Wilkes did not get a fair shake in Arizona. Now his regime drafted Josh Rosen, so that is a big asterisk there. But being fired after one season is really hard for an NFL head coach. You know what I mean? Especially when
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury's had a fucking leash after replacing you. So Wilkes, and it sounds like the players there, you can at least see the effort there. So all love to Carolina before I kick control back to Siglin, but still, Baltimore's good.
Yeah.
They're a better coach team too. Like Harbaugh's gonna let the Ravens win every single year, no matter who's on the field.
And not to mention their defense is getting healthy at the right time. Bowser just came back a couple games ago with David Ajabo. I think, going back to when I talked about him, I think that's going to be the pieces they need to be a successful
Love
defense.
Ajabo.
Yes.
Well, just like the first of every month, it's time to pay them bills. We got the Bills versus Cleveland. Over under
I'm
is
gonna break a table on this show one day.
already bumped up to 50 with the Bills spread of -8. When this was going to be played in the snow earlier this week, the line was released at 41.5.
Wow, almost 10
So
points.
anyone who bet the over has basically got free money at this moment.
Bills
I think
minus the points.
Yeah, I guess I like.
This is the Bills
with
get right game.
Yeah.
With
Bills
both.
win by like 17.
Well, also
I think
the
of this one.
Yeah.
Cleveland's entire secondary's out. Newsom's out. Ward is still injured. So I think Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs both have 100 plus.
Oof.
I can
They
see
have
that.
no
They-
secondary.
Yeah,
bro.
I
They have
guess.
no
They'll-
secondary.
Josh Allen. Plus, you got to realize it's been cold in Buffalo. He's been able just to walk outside on his porch and ice.
And
that
I know
elbows.
everyone
Yeah.
is high on Devin Peoples-Jones, including Jace. I think Devin Peoples gets shut out today. I think
Donovan.
that secondary's
Donovan.
going to
Is
hold him.
what's his name back for the Bills
bad.
yet? Their number 1 corner, Tre'Davious.
No,
Tre'Davious
White's out.
White.
When's he
White's out
back?
still. Elam's questionable. Gilliam's questionable at fullback. Fucking. We got a couple guys on the line out too, the D line, but they're starting to get a little bit healthier.
I just meant specifically him because he is their number 1. I mean,
Oh, Tre'Davious,
Yeah.
leagues ahead. And no, he's probably a couple of weeks. They're
he'll be back before the playoffs though.
yes.
Jordan Porter's
they make it.
questionable.
How's that even a conversation? But they're
Yeah.
only a game ahead of the playoffs.
And I've
right
got AFC Super Bowl picks at the beginning of the year for us, or LOL, unless you're Lane and you pick the Chiefs.
I know, right?
now. What did I pick?
I'd say if this game
Think it
stayed
was
in
Bills.
Buffalo, I would have
I think
taken
the
the
Bills, too.
Browns because they have the superior run game, of course. But yeah,
And Josh Allen.
I
can't
think
play
the Bills
elements,
blow them
apparently.
out.
Speaking of the Browns, why did they not trade Kareem Hunt at the break?
I don't know.
What?
They don't use him.
They don't use him, and they could have got a 4th rounder or something out of him. And they're
Before he
not
hits
going to
free
sign him this
agency?
offseason.
Yeah, no, or he
He
won't
wanted to be
re-sign
wanted
either.
out.
Yeah.
And he could have made an impact somewhere else. And running backs were getting traded left and right at the freaking.
Yeah.
I also think teams might have just gotten cheap. You know, maybe they didn't even offer a 4th rounder, and they're like, rather ride him out the rest of the year than.
Well, will they get anything compensatory for him or not?
Who?
Kareem? Or they
Uh,
didn't draft him.
I don't think so.
depending.
No.
How's that work?
They just
No, it's just on team
contract
losses.
ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
just contract
contract
ends.
ends.
So just depending
yeah,
on
trade.
where,
Yeah.
depending on where he ends up,
I
like where the
also
losses
think-
come.
I also, from what I reported, the teams that like reached out, they felt like if that they gave up Kareem Hunt, like that they were for sure going the distance,
Sure.
and they didn't want to just hand over a Super Bowl to the Bills or the Chiefs, because the Chiefs even tried to trade for Kareem.
I think
Yeah.
that's their missing crux right now. They have a bunch of backs playing good, but God, if you could look at the Chiefs' offense and be like, here's one where to upgrade outside of a true number one.
And you've
guy.
already seen it, so
Get back your guy.
yeah.
Oh, it's still a hard situation because they both still succeeded elsewhere, and I like seeing it. But
Kareem Hunt's an RB1.
no, I'm talking about Tyreek Hill.
Oh shit, my bad.
Talking about
That
Tyreek
trade
Hill,
worked
like-
out for both of them. The Chiefs' offense is plenty fine without him.
Yeah, and they used it to power up their defense.
And exactly. And Tyreek Hill is going to win Offensive Player of the Year at this
Well,
rate.
Him or Justin Jefferson for sure.
Has to be Tyreek.
I
Actually,
think.
in my
I
opinion.
think.
yeah.
As I say, Tyreek Hill's making one of the worst. He's not a good quarterback. He's making Tua
Yep.
look like he's an MVP candidate.
God, you are sounding like 2022 offseason. The world has changed, Rick. We are 10 weeks into the season. You're saying Justin Fields is garbage? Tua is one of the top quarterbacks in the fucking NFL right now.
Because
established.
because of
Stat-wise.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, dude, you got two of the fastest receivers in the NFL. You have the fastest running back and arguably the fastest tight end in the NFL. I mean,
Imagine if Aaron Rodgers could be on that team.
or if Justin Herbert went one pick sooner and ended up with
Imagine if
Tyreek
fucking
and
Derek Carr
Jalen
was on
Waddle.
that team. Imagine if any quarterback with
No, I
his
just mean
weight
Aaron
and
Rodgers
piss.
with his absolute cannon that he has.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Dude,
Taking ayahuasca
Just go-
before
just
the
go-
game.
just
Fuck
go
it.
that
deep,
would
bro.
be
Hill
that would
Wild
be
down there somewhere.
ridiculous.
We're back to Siglin.
I also just thought of another reason why we all should take the Bears today. Atlanta played Carolina last week.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, Bears by Millie. What is it? Carolina is the death kiss this year.
Oh.
Every team who's played Carolina lost the next week so far.
Oh, really?
Even going into a bye.
No
Yep.
shit?
Yep.
Wow.
Even going into the bye, they're next week. After the bye, they lose.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Your next game after Carolina, you lose.
It's literally been all season.
That's crazy. That's insane.
All right, let's knock a couple more games out here, and I got to go in about 2 minutes.
I was about to say, yeah, we got to get to his Cowboys in the
Well,
afternoon.
just like Cole's mood set right now, fear and loathing Las Vegas. We're going to be taking the Raiders money line today. I think, and it's purely the reason why I'm doing this is I want the Broncos to lose to give the Seahawks a better draft pick.
Speaking of that, what do the Seahawks do if they get like a top 5 draft pick?
Build around, dude.
I don't know. Will
a
Anderson
whole
and
fucking rebuild.
Miles Murphy,
You
Jalen
could
Carter
literally
all look
wait a
good.
year or two for some of these other quarterbacks.
You
that
might
are
not
gonna
get
be
that
even
opportunity
better.
again, though.
Actually, if I'm Schneider, yeah, I sell. Sell you in this year's quarterback class, 2 first-rounders for a top 10 pick is the asking price. And yeah, I said top 10. In this year's quarterback class, because of where things may lie, you're not going to get 5 quarterbacks just go right off the bat.
There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of good other positions than this
Yes.
draft for
Yeah.
sure. That
Absolutely.
Anderson's a beast.
That's
There's
what
some good
Anderson
corners.
will go top 5. Someone will either land there or
trade up.
up for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
like and
Well,
also
you guys, you guys are taking a non-quarterback,
I know.
Yeah.
so
100%. We have a
you might
quarterback.
take Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, if we end up finishing bad, which is how we played so far, but also 9 games into the year, I mean, statistically, we're not the worst 2-7 team ever, but we're 2-7. There's no real way to fucking like dip and dodge around this. Like, we've actually, I think, degressed, but also I think what I'm starting to see from the Raiders right now is I'm seeing a team that half the players seem to really be holding in. I think you have Carr, Adams really kind of resonating the same message as McDaniels and Ziegler right now. And that's, hey, some shit's happened this year. And this is really what's going to actually make this team, I think, for years to come. How do you react to this? Like last week, Derek Carr, like breaking down crying because he's so fucking frustrated. Like people can call him a pussy or whatnot. Like I love that, Michael.
No,
That's
I
just
agree.
that's just passion
I
for the game.
love that. For a man to sit up there, not bash his teammates. He
Yeah.
won't call anybody out
No.
in the media, but to sit there and he is so frustrated that as a man, he is crying on national
Whoa.
television, like in a press conference, sitting there, he's like, dude, I'm frustrated because I know we're better than this. And it pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think you've been waiting, your entire career, let's say at this point, to play with your best friend.
Yep.
Right, and then you're, thinking heading into the season like you're going to be on fire. There's no way we're going to be this bad. You're thinking wild card team at worst. and you're
Literally.
fucking
Now you're
holding
looking
the
at top five
second pick. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's soul crushing.
Like I said, there's games I can't excuse. New Orleans is one. We lay an absolute egg against New Orleans.
Arizona.
Arizona.
another one.
The 17-point comebacks though, that's kind of where that's what gives me hope because those type of collapses.
You play good for a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I will take one half of good football because you got to realize this from a coaching standpoint, you're watching the entire game tape,
Yeah.
good or bad. You're taking the good, you're building off that. You're taking the bad, you're trying to erase it, and then build good in that place. That's just coaching. That's very basic. We all know that. And so when you have so bipolar halves, I think it shows a lot about a team. I think it shows a lot about character and who gives up when the going is good.
Yes.
Because the same guys who are starting to ease off the gas at 17 plus are the same guys that are giving up when that 17-point lead turns into a 3-point deficit.
Yes.
Now we need to identify those guys and get them the fuck out of the building.
Dude, yes.
And I think that's what we're doing right now because you see Derek and Devontae, guys who have been fairly cordial their entire career as far as actually what they say in press conferences. Devontae shove is whatever. But, even Devontae in Green Bay, was always, I'm going to just do my job. I'm
Yep.
going to go about my business. Even when he, requested a trade, he was very professional about it. And so you take these guys who are now starting to even just throw the hints that there are a handful and a lot of people within the organization playing on this team right now who aren't really in it for the same cause as they are. It sucks because I don't think this is a this year salvageable thing, but I still believe in this nucleus of a team going forward outside of Josh McDaniels' play calling. I do openly question that still, but I like Dave Ziegler. He showed me a lot this offseason as far as acquiring players and building a roster. It's just executed in the worst possible fucking way.
Yeah, and
This
I think
is the nightmare situation.
and I
for the
think you
Raiders,
guys-
is this.
I
Like a
think
wasted
with,
season.
Yeah,
basically.
with all of our talent. And here's the shitty part. You guys know me. I'm crazy. There is the 1% in me that still looks at the rest of our schedule, looks at
I was
the
just looking
Chiefs
at
and
it.
Chargers really being our biggest competition. And I'm like, we made the playoffs at 10-7 last year. That
Yeah.
record is still acquirable. And one of the biggest cruxes on our schedule is we play the Chiefs week 18. If
Oh,
they
yeah.
have their playoff position solidified, Andy's been known to rest starters. So
Well, and they could be.
not saying we win in the playoffs, but at this point, man, and no one's really talking about it, but our defense is shit. We're Lions level bad.
well, I think
Denver's the exact opposite.
I don't even think 11-6 is a guaranteed in the AFC this year for a playoff lock. The way the AFC East is going, it could be a 12-5, man. Could be a
No.
12-5 year lock.
I don't know about that. They're also gonna beat each other up though too.
Yeah,
Same thing as That's why when everyone was saying that the AFC West was going to get all 4 teams in, I'm like, that's pretty unlikely, just because someone has to lose.
yeah,
You know,
Well, the last 3 weeks of the season are divisional weeks, anyways.
Yep.
Usually, so
I don't think the Patriots make the playoffs,
No.
I don't either.
I don't
no.
either.
and
Nope,
I think
agree.
that the Jets might miss the playoffs too.
Oh yeah, I think the Jets have a
The Jets,
collapse.
the Jets will be either like a 7 seed or they'll be just on the outside. I think the Patriots are gonna.
Yeah, I still believe in the
their
Dolphins,
quarterback
Bills.
play is so bad. Let's do the Cowboys game quick so then I can go to work.
Cowboys versus the Vikings. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how the fuck you have.
Where are
this
they
game
playing?
in Minnesota? In Minnesota,
And the Cowboys are the favorite.
and the Cowboys are favored by a
Against an
point and a half.
8-1
What's
home
the
Minnesota,
spread?
like 1.5 or something, right?
Yeah.
Which pretty much, once again, with the 3-point home
Yeah.
theory, you are giving the Cowboys 4.5. points
Yeah,
in this
I
game.
I
mean,
know.
no, I don't see that happening. I see a
so the
28-20 game,
Vikings aren't like the
Minnesota. by
the
the way.
favorite. They beat the Bills though, whether it's by miraculous fashion or not. They were in that game late.
They
needed a miracle, but miracles happen because you're close,
Yeah.
and then you close the gap. I just don't know where all the hate's coming from. I think the Vikings are finally what we've talked about for years.
Yeah.
I literally said before the season started, the Vikings were my sleeper team.
Just
I
for
said
the
it.
record. I said the Eagles were. Just for the record.
Well, Eagles are going to come back down to
I'm a clown, so
yeah.
I have no good analysis.
I feel like we'll talk about the Eagles at a different time, but I think the Cowboys win a very, very close game today. Like
High scoring or low scoring?
kind of. I mean, like 27-24, something like that. I don't think either team goes over 30 just because both running games are so good.
Yeah.
Unless Cook and Pollard and Zeke are just breaking 60
Right.
yard touchdowns or something. But and the Cowboys Cowboys run defense is bad, but our pass defense, I don't think Jefferson just goes off or anything today because unless that we put our number 2 corner on him, which would be an idiotic.
I was going to
move.
say, I haven't heard much about Diggs. Is he doing all right this year?
He's actually one of the highest rated corners.
Is he?
He's not doing what he did last year.
Right.
He's still getting interceptions. He's
Yeah.
got like 4 or 5, but he's not going to have. He's not doing what he did last year. He took so many risks last year.
Right.
And he was either gave up a 70-yard touchdown or he got an interception
Yeah.
deflection. That was his.
but you
This
you
year
see
he's
that out
doing
of
great.
good cornerbacks, though.
He's getting better. He really is. I think they said the highest rated corner in the NFL this year is Patrick Surtain for the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
And I think number 2 is the guy that used to be on the Lions and now is an Eagle. Can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Slate. Darius
yeah,
Slay.
Darius Slay.
Darius
yeah.
Slay, and I think Diggs is 3.
Diggs, he made the leap that he needed to make to
Yes,
be in the
absolutely.
conversation of where everybody kind of threw him. Because what you see out of a lot of great cornerbacks. Because this even happened with Revis. Revis, the year he got the Revis Island moniker, was his highest interception year ever. After that, 3, 2, 4, 1.
They just stopped
Because
throwing
people
at him.
know,
Yeah.
but also they tighten on coverage to where the year before, boom or bust, taking chances.
They play risky. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they're just on.
Yeah.
They tighten that gap because usually he's using athleticism because there was that gap, in
Yeah.
the play, So sometimes you make the catch, sometimes the ball goes past you and you allow a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now there's not that gap, so they're not
Right.
throwing
I just
for
don't-
him to get the chances for
I
picks.
just don't understand why the Cowboys didn't go after a second corner at the trade deadline.
I know,
They're
right?
Just like
Imagine
Anthony
how much-
Brown, it's awful.
Imagine
He's been
how much
awful
better
for
your,
years, and we just keep giving him more chances. He's not good.
your
He's
defense would be so much better with a solid number 2. You know what I mean?
And
There were
'cause-
teams selling too. So
Yeah.
What?
I think there were teams there's been teams selling.
Yeah, there wasn't like stud corners available, but there was number 2
Something.
and number 3 corners
Yeah.
that could have helped. And I know that who traded for the guy from the Commanders? Was it the
Oh,
Steelers?
Steelers, yeah.
Well, they give like a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It was something silly
Like-
as hell. It was a
and
7th round pick, I
He's
think.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not awesome, but I would have taken. I get the Commanders probably don't want to help the Cowboys, but
I mean, of course. Of course.
all right, boys,
All right,
get
Rick.
my butt to work.
Go Vikings, Skull.
Skull.
Love you,
It's
Rick.
an afternoon game. Cowboys are gonna win 27-24.
Well, like I'm planning to do after this show, Chiefin, move on to the Chiefs and Chargers.
You miss
A
Bengals
lot to
Steelers.
say about this,
I
baby.
thought you guys hit that one while I was browning out.
No, we were
Oh,
talking
you're
about Raiders, I
Real
think.
quick, I'll take the Chiefs by 10.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
See, boys.
All right. So we hitting the Steelers game first?
Yeah.
All right. I think
So
Well,
I got
what's
a
the stat
fun
line?
stat for you for this one. Mike Tomlin as an underdog at home
Come
is
sit with you, boys.
10-0-2.
say that again.
Underdog at home.
Mike
10-0-2.
Tomlin as an underdog at home is 10-0-2.
I think it's going to be a repeat of the first game. I think Steelers defense is back fully healthy. I think it's going to be a shit show for the Bengals, especially without Jamar Chase this time. I think it's a low-scoring game. Steelers score a couple touchdowns. I'm going to say 17-3.
They got TJ Watt back now too.
Yeah, exactly. That's an ultimate level up for the defense.
Najee kind of got a little bit more unlocked last week. So they said they're going to kind of go back to featuring him a little bit more going forward over Warren, which is good news for my.
Just most of their secondary has been injured like
Yeah.
all season, and
Who?
that has been since the Pittsburgh's like biggest downfall. is like their
Because
secondary.
week one
is
they
just
blew up.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like with that, Minka, TJ Watt
I was gonna
turnover game.
Yeah, I was thinking Steelers, man. They're just gonna have a historic defense. I mean, you just don't do that to the Bengals. You know what I mean?
I'm actually going to take the Bengals today, and the reason why is I think that this will be Mike Tomlin's first loss as an underdog at home.
What's
I
the
just don't
spread?
think Kenny Pickett has the juice, is what it comes down to. The spread is 3.5. Over under is 39.5.
Dang, so Bengals by 7, really?
I think the Bengals win by 7, and I think the over will hit. I think the Bengals. I think this is kind of their get right game to keep on track with their season. I mean, the last game they played, Joe Mixon had 5 touchdowns alone.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying that was a fluke, but
6 total actually.
kind of.
So I just think Cincinnati just stays on that roll, and also since week 4, Cincinnati's defense or offensive line has locked their shit up.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow's been sacked on average 1.5 times a game.
but
versus
at the
his
same
4 times a
time, I
game.
think during that stretch, I think it was without Jamar Chase, or maybe even the last game with Jamar Chase, he's averaging like 3.9 air yards. So, I mean, that's something to definitely be concerned about as well.
I still think Cincinnati's got it. I just don't think that
I'm going with the upset.
Steelers are too young, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah, they are. And they lost Claypool, which wasn't a huge
I
factor
was
to
gonna
them.
say, I don't know
But
how big of a loss that was.
I think he's been
He's still a
good
Megatron body,
distraction
man.
for
Yeah.
Chicago. Like, I mean, you've seen their offense perform better since then.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to respect him. He's a Megatron body type. Runs a 4.4, 4.3. I mean, you have to.
You're not wrong. I don't disagree with you at all.
What's our next slate?
Chargers, Chiefs, baby.
Chargers, Chiefs. All right.
I'll let you
Going
guys
with the
spiel.
San Diego
Yeah.
Superchargers, and you know it's bad if I am putting on a fucking Chargers jersey.
Yep.
You're going for the over is 52 with a spread of 5.5.
Shootout.
I'm
take
saying the over hits. I don't like the Chiefs on the spread. I think it's like a 3 or a 4 point game.
Well, the last game was a 3-point game.
So
Wasn't it?
there's only been one game in the Herbert area. I think I said this a couple days ago, maybe even last night, that a team's won by 6 one time, and that was game 2, I think week like 12 maybe last year, that the Chiefs hit a walk-off, Travis Kelce, end zone, touchdown, game was over. That was the only time the Chiefs Chargers in the Herbert Mahomes era has went over 3 points.
I think those two, and we talked about it in our group chat this week.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a rivalry yet? No.
No,
But does this week have the potential, especially if Herbert wins, to start that conversation?
oh, absolutely.
yes.
I'd say it's
So
not
then what? It's 3-3 all time versus the first
3 and
6
2,
games?
3 and 2.
It's 3-2 right now, but I mean,
Yeah.
if Herbert wins,
Herbert wins, then yes, it'll be 3 and 3. I say the biggest part of this game is going to be Chargers defense versus Chiefs offense.
I think the thing that isn't really being talked about, it's being talked about for the Kadarius Toney blow-up factor, but we're not really talking about the fact that, yes, it's Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he lost his number 1 option. He's still doing fine, but now he is without his number 2 and 3 option this week
Yeah,
in MVS and Juju. So
yeah. I mean, no. Mecole. It's Mecole.
Or Miko, but MVS is out too, isn't he?
No, he's playing.
Oh, he is
well,
playing.
he's questionable, but see, and that's the thing is I feel like even with Mecole, Juju, and MVS on the field, I still feel like at that point we match up with them well, just because our team is literally to beat the Chiefs.
I think
That
you
is
get
the
a
end of
heavy
story.
dosage of Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney tonight.
What I think needs to happen for the Chargers to be successful on defense, I know it's going to be a surprise, but I think Mike Davis needs to be on Kadarius Toney. He's the faster player. His hips are more elusive
Still
than.
says Keenan Allen's questionable.
Oh, he's playing. And then
he's like, no, he's fucking playing.
Yeah,
Don't you
and then-
play
Like,
that evil on me.
I called Staley myself.
the
We got the info.
well, I mean, there's interviews, right? And Keenan Allen wants to play. He can run full speed, coming in and out of cuts, no setbacks this week, and he's leaving up to the coaching staff, which the coaching staff, even with Herbert's situation, communicated with him back and forth, throughout the week when he cracked his ribs, whatever. And it was ultimately Justin Herbert's decision to play, and he did. So I'm thinking the same thing, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Well, I know for a fact Mike Williams is playing, and that's going to be huge for our offense.
He's gotten it done with DeAndre Carter and Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, with all
With
of
Gerald
those,
Everett being the number one option.
Yeah,
Well,
and-
Eckler, but
and one thing to note for this game is Gerald Everett didn't have a game status coming off the Friday practice. He's now been downgraded to questionable. So,
I'm gonna say this with this game. Well, I
He's
want
not
to pick
even
the
on
Chargers just for parity in the NFL. This game will come down.
Everett's not even on here.
he was downgraded 19th yesterday.
I'm saying must be playing because this was just updated.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No game status now?
It says he's in.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, I'm going to take the same exact score they had last time, but in Chargers' favor. I'm going to say 27-24 Chargers.
I think whoever has the ball last wins. Like, I don't think the defense makes a stop to whatever quarterback has the ball last
I think
in this situation, because if it's Patty versus if it's Patty versus Mahomes, if it's Patty versus Herbo, I like Patty.
yeah, of course.
But the swing of Keenan and Mike coming back
It's
versus
huge.
losing a couple of your better receivers for Patty, I just think it gives the Chargers just that much of a boost. It's
Right.
not on Mahomes. Mahomes has an immaculate game. I dare to say this is like a 35-32 type of game.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm hoping for a great game. But I got the Chargers spread at least. I don't
Yeah.
know confidently I'm picking the actual winner, but I like the 5.5
Yeah.
the Chargers are getting. I
Yeah.
like it. I really do. I like it a lot.
And I don't know. Obviously, all I watch is Chargers football. I watch every single second of every single game. And we are getting a little bit of fan base at home. So, I mean, don't be
COVID
surprised.
restrictions are getting lifted. They got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, don't be surprised if we we get the Chiefs on a silent count a couple times during the game, especially in big moments. So I think that's going to weigh heavy. And we all know that Patrick Mahomes is susceptible to throwing interceptions or almost interceptions. And that's been the story of our defense. We've created a lot of turnovers this
That's
year,
true.
whether it's fumble. We've had an interception, I think, in every single game this year, minus last game. And we've turned the ball over at least once every single game. So, I mean, it's kind of a big deal, man.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal. What do we got for Monday night, Siggy boy?
We got an injury-riddled AFC West game with a Kyler that has not been announced if he's playing yet or not, with a spread of 8 to the Niners and an over-under 43.5.
This is ugly. I like the Niners all day long.
Yes.
I think Christian
Regardless.
McCaffrey goes off for 40 fantasy.
I'm hoping
It's a
so.
divisional game, so I think it'll be a little bit closer than you guys are playing it out to be. But, yes, I do think that McCaffrey has a Rams-type game where it's either 3 touchdowns in different categories or just 3 touchdowns, period, rushing, receiving, you name it. And I think on the passing side of it, I think Debo's going to come alive this game.
It's a damn good chance of it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, boys,
No.
no?
Fuck a duck. What do we got for fantasy?
I don't know.
Let's play some bets here. Let's do the live betting. So far, I had one I was making with Daniel Jones over and Justin.
Here you go.
Fields
Here's
over.
my lottery for the day.
Let's make me some money, Dave. Oh, they're giving Baker.
A touchdown.
Yeah, what do you got going on, Sig? I want to see your prize picks.
I go big or go home.
I
don't like running the 3-pick plays.
Oh, no. I go 5 all the time.
I do 6s.
I didn't even see an option for 6.
You gotta update your app.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Go in your app store and update it because it's
Is that recent change?
Yep.
Last.
I've just
Friday?
been on prize picks the last 2 weeks, so kind of new to this thing.
Love it.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot they had.
Oh, and also,
And I like how they're
the
not.
other reason with that service guy, Cole, is he makes a shitload of money on esports. Like betting League of Legends, Valorant,
But it takes the
and
fun out of
CS:GO.
it, man.
Yeah,
It
I like to
really
win. I like to win
does.
my own money.
I mean, I get
I'm
it.
not gonna go.
From a-
I'm not gonna go research some
No.
kid on Twitch that's good at.
No,
killing on
I
COD, but if someone
know.
else already did the info.
For
fuck
me,
it, I'm gonna ride.
For me, yes, it's cool making money. Don't get me wrong. Making money is the best thing in this world, right? But at the same time, for me personally, it just takes the pride out of it and the
I don't know.
reward.
Have you
out of
ever
it.
gotten out of the shower and had a fresh towel straight from the dryer to dry
Yeah.
off with.
Yeah.
That's some of
Yes.
the best things in life.
Yes,
All right, that might be better
absolutely.
than that. All right, just saying.
Or getting into bed with warm sheets. Ooh.
Oh yeah, fresh. and fresh
Nothing
sheets.
like
Oh.
it. If you hit that combo, you might just jizz without even
Oh
touching
yep,
your
yep.
shit.
Oh god, we gotta do laundry and why I just exploded everywhere.
Oh man.
No, but I don't know if you have these ones. It's the multiplayer touchdown bets.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yep, Jeez, got fucked on when he did. Austin Hooper hadn't had a touchdown all year. Like the three players, like it was like Woods, Hooper, and someone else.
That one? I don't have those at the moment.
And it was. Oh really? Yeah, you gotta updated it, fam.
No,
It's
I
under
should
rushing
have
and
it.
receiving.
I've had them before. It used to be the first one that came up.
Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, Hunter Henry touchdown over.
Really?
Yeah, one touchdown between any one of the three: Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, or Hunter Henry for the Patriots. I like
Man.
just one touchdown, rushing or receiving. So even they cover you on the bullshit too.
Which, by the way, I'm so glad the Chargers got rid of Hunter Henry. I think it was
This
the
is
right
one
move.
that I like. I like the pass rusher,
Pass rush touch-
receiving
or-
touchdown.
yeah.
It's literally an anytime score.
Yeah, that's gold. It should be gold in a prize pick. I mean, if you pick the right player, obviously, but I think it should be gold. Last week, I made the mistake of that bet with ETN, and obviously the one damn game he doesn't score a touchdown.
I know, right? He's been like gold all year, and then just the one week he
Yeah.
doesn't. You're just like, oh.
I
fuck
told
me, alright.
Jace that was a bad line. The second he made that bet,
Which
did
one?
I not?
What was the bet?
That's fair. That's fair.
The second he
Called,
put that bet, I was like, I like everyone on there except ETN.
Yeah, I had
I
too much
told him
faith
that
in
the
him.
second he put that in there.
Because
I
they
was
what?
like,
They played the
bro.
Chiefs last week. Yeah.
I was like, I like everyone in there but ETN. I was like, he's like, that's their only player. I was like, exactly. They're not gonna let their only player beat them.
yeah.
That's like
Chiefs
that's-
are smarter
that's-
than
that's
that.
Andy Reid's thing.
Yeah.
We're not gonna let your best player beat us.
It's
You're
kind of like
literally gonna
a
have to beat us with your backups.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
a Bill Belichick mindset where
That's the
you're
Colts.
taking the best player out of the game. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what they did.
What about Field? You know what?
Fields' first half rush is hit the last 7 weeks. Just saying. Another free money if you take Kenny Pickett's game rush yards. That is hit the last 4 weeks.
I think I have a fairly good chance to hit all five of
You know
mine.
about this too, right?
What?
You can click that.
Nope.
and
Didn't know
it'll
about that.
Show you
Nope.
like so it'll show you like their last 5 games.
Yeah, yeah.
If they hit that or not.
Nope. I didn't know
so
that.
that'll give you like really good odds to try to make your bets better.
Right.
I really only use it in NBA because NFL.
It's so
I'm
up and
watching
down.
so much
Yeah.
anyway. I know most of it.
Yeah, NBA, you gotta like catch up because like you don't catch a game late night one night, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, when the fuck did he go off? for
I'm
40
going.
points?
Shit.
I'm going more on all of my
Porzingis
picks.
is averaging 40 RPA the last 3 weeks. Where
Yeah,
the
dude,
fuck was
Porzingis
I?
has been fucking
Yeah.
rolling, dude.
I was obviously kidding because I do know that, but dude, should we go make a soccer bet?
World Cup.
World Cup?
Yeah, and drink a Budweiser because they can't.
You know, I don't watch. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever watched a second of a
Absol is
soccer
dropping
game.
his new album called Herbert.
Who?
Absol.
That's right. Better be about Justin.
No, it's by Khalil.
Yeah, right. No, but for my prize picks this week, I
If
have
I'm just finding out that Absol's name is Herbert, I'm gonna be really like, the fuck?
I'm going 260.5 for Herbert more, Saquon 98.5 more, McLaurin 59.5 receiving yards more.
That's a
Fields,
lock. That was somebody's
yeah,
lock of the day.
that's got to be a lock, 100% against Houston. And then
My one issue with that is I think Stingley's gonna follow him like flies on shit.
either way, man, I think him or Dotson or Samuel have a huge game. You know,
All right, here's my 11 o'clock lock of the week. Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, Hunter Henry, all of them have to just score one touchdown between the three. Baker
all of them
Mayfield-
have to score one, or they
no,
just
all
have
of
to
them
score
just have
one.
to score one between the three.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
They
I don't
all
even have
three
that
are
on
in play,
today.
but just one of them has to score.
Yeah, you got a 66% chance. There's, you know, at least, you know what I mean.
Scott Steiner over here. Well, you got a 33%
Yeah.
chance of beating me, but then you had the super pump freak.
Yeah,
Zilla
and
in
I
the
even
mix.
hate saying that because I think everything's 50-50, yes or no. It happens or it doesn't.
Yep. Baker 1 tutty, Damian Pierce over 1 tutty, Jonathan Taylor 1 tutty, Justin Fields overall rushing attempts 11
Ooh,
over.
I don't
You
like the
want
Jonathan Taylor.
You want another lock?
Yeah.
I don't
Jonathan Taylor's gonna score.
Yeah, he'll score.
I
this
don't
week.
think so, man. That D line's
Whether it's-
nasty.
They're still one of
Jonathan
the worst
Taylor's
run defenses,
disgusting.
and they're
I know.
Sue might not be in, and Linval Joseph's coming off the couch. Like, give him a week. to
Yeah.
take a rest.
Gabe,
But he
no,
did. He
Hold on, last one. Jets defense over 2.5 sacks against Mac Jones. Really?
No.
You hate
not
that?
that line. Colin Strange. Here's a lock that you should change it to. Gabe Davis over 3.5 receptions.
Oh, for sure. That's a lock.
That's a thing. I was sorry, I didn't look at receptions.
If you didn't even know who Gabe Davis
Oh,
was.
dude, there's so much shit
fuck
on
off.
here.
Yeah, but Prize Picks doesn't apparently.
There's
Yeah.
literally so much shit on here, dude. Like, there's this guy that I follow called I Own Prize Picks, and he'll literally just go through, like, dude, the other day he made a parlay where everything was 0.5. It was either less or more on, like, steals, rebounds, blocks.
I love
and
how I literally
assists.
said on Thursday, I'm like, it's fraudulent to do this on our show, and then he's like, nope, I'm doing other people's
Yep.
betting analysis on the show anyways. Fuck you, Cole.
No, I was just
Fuck you.
saying.
Fuck
It's just what the guy does. It's like, you have to, like, those people literally scroll through every fucking one of these plays.
Yeah.
Like, they have so much time. Because, dude, you go look at the NBA, you have NBA first half. Then you have to go through points, assists, rebounds, points, assists, and rebounds. Fantasy score, 3-point made, points and rebounds, points and assists, rebounds and assists, blocks and steals, turnovers.
That's quite the combo right there.
And then you have 95 players
Yeah,
on
but what I'm
every
saying is
single
like
one
that's
of those.
that's a good backbone. But what you doing is just taking other people's betting analysis.
I was just saying, that's what this one guy does.
It's just a group chain. It's just a blockchain of just people stealing other people's analysis.
It's like crypto, and it's all gonna
Yeah.
fail one day.
Yeah.
So glad I sold my fucking Ethereum when I did. I bought a coin for like 1,500 or
Yeah.
16 when it dipped, and then fucking the next day it was like right back up at 38, and I sold it. So made it quick, like
Nice,
almost
there you go.
$2,000.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I'm in Musecoin right now, waiting for that to explode.
No, I bought Doge as a joke when it was like 2/100ths
I
of
heard
a
that
cent.
shit's
Yeah.
going up again.
It is.
It is.
I still own like 10,000 Dogecoin just shitting.
It bounced
there
up
in
to
my
15
Robinhood.
cents and
Yeah.
then went back down a little bit. But
Yeah.
As soon as it's 15 cents, you should
I,
catch the.
oh, I,
fuck
ca-
Oh, it's
up.
back-
I cashed out over like $1,000 worth.
yeah,
when
and
it got
it's
to, like,
back
70
down
cents.
to like 8 cents or something.
I'm part of the reason Dogecoin went down. I sold out.
Kobe still has like 10,000 of those things.
Yeah, Doge is sitting at 8 cents. Yeah, 8 cents.
Oh, fuck it. Let's cut the live. We'll just chill.
I'm done. To you. I'm done. Just cut it and chat for a little